This episode is powered by Poddex.
Welcome to the Shawn Knight Show podcast. And now, here's your host, Shawn Knight.
Hello and welcome to the Shawn Knight Show podcast. I am your host, Shawn Knight, and I am very excited about this episode because on the phone right now is someone that I think you guys should know. He is a director and he has a brand new movie out called The System, and it talks about injustice, corruption, and inhumane treatment of other people that is in this movie. It's talking about the prison system, and this film offers more than just simple entertainment. It also talks about the horrific injustices that exist inside the U.S. prison system, and hopefully this interview will lead to a conversation about change. Ladies and gentlemen, let's bring them on right now. Welcome to the Shawn Knight Show podcast. Director of The System, Mr. Dallas Jackson. What's up, fam?
What's up, family?
It's all
happy
good,
holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa.
Exactly, man. Happy holidays to you and yours. How are you?
I'm well, man. I'm actually in the middle of, my kids have their last day at school today. We're going to go do this toy drive and give something back. And, it's time to be grateful here and really reflect. So I appreciate you taking the time and us talking about being grateful about this movie.
Yes, The System. I had a chance to watch it last night. It is a good movie.
Thank you. I appreciate that. There's a lot of stuff that comes out. So for you to say, say it like that and with conviction, I appreciate it. You definitely sound like you enjoyed it.
My question to you, what inspired you to write this project?
Two things, man. One thing was that I got an article sent to me by a fellow producer, and it was about prisoners being made to fight to death in this private prison in upstate New York. And they actually had video footage of it. The other thing was once I kind of went down that rabbit hole, I started discovering that a lot of state prisons were now regulated, or if you will, deregulated and being taken over by private corporations. So there's more private prisons being built in this country than colleges. There's a lot of corruption there. And when you have a business or a corporation that takes over something, their bottom line is profit. So the way you make profit off of a private prison is to have bodies inside that prison.
Right.
And those bodies, live bodies, usually come from our communities, Black and brown communities. So that's two big messages that we wrapped around the idea of this action movie and really being able to pull the curtain back on the corruption going on in the private prison system in this country and how it directly affects our community. And this one man, Tyrese, sent in to not only pull the curtain back, but decide that he's going to do something about it.
One thing I love about this movie is that it exposes the flaws of the American criminal justice system. It shows that many people are not only unfairly incarcerated and subjected to torture, but also that the system fails to appropriately prepare them for life after release. Now, did this movie make a deeper connection with you? Because it did with me, as these kind of prison houses most people that look like you and I.
Yeah, well, look, we all have somebody in our family that's incarcerated, and if you don't, you have somebody that that has a family member that's incarcerated. And that's just become, unfortunate, a norm in our communities. And the reason why is because we're becoming more locked up than any other people on this planet. There's this opportunity to discover and experiment on us as a people and wonder why this continues to happen to us. There's no coincidence that the prison population is made up mostly of Black and brown bodies. Mm-hmm. So something to explore with this movie. It's a bit of edutainment. We're trying to educate. We're trying to entertain. You got to put some sugar in the medicine, if you will. But there is this idea in this world of us being locked up. Now, some of the people that are in prison, they deserve to be there. Let's be clear. There
Absolutely.
Are some people that need to be locked up, but there are a lot of people that are trapped inside for minor offenses that continue to get caught up in this prison system because it allows them to continue to fulfill this need for bodies inside these systems.
Let's talk about Tyrese, who plays Terry Savage in the movie. Following a drug bust, he is recruited by the authorities to go undercover in a notoriously dangerous private prison. After discovering an underground fight ring, he now got to fight to stay alive and take down a corrupt system. And this put Tyrese's character in a bind because there is nothing a parent wouldn't do when their child is at risk. And as folks watch the movie, they'll understand. So how did you and Tyrese connect for this project?
Well, he is one of the few in the, if you will, Hollywood community that looks like us, is an international action star because of his association with the Fast movies and his other franchises like Transformers.
Right.
But Tyrese and I have a more special bond in that we were both friends and brothers with John Singleton. And so John Singleton made the connection for Tyrese and I ultimately to do this movie together before he passed. And, I consider Tyrese a unique actor in that he's got the physicality, but he also can act. He's also, I wanted him to do less is more in this movie. So he doesn't talk a lot. His physical stature speaks for itself sometimes. And, I wanted somebody that could be powerful just with a look. And that's what our brother Tyrese brings to this. And, again, there was a mutual understanding between he and I that we were dedicating this movie, along with Terrence, who also comes from our John Singleton fraternity, that we were dedicating this movie to John and try to do something special in his name.
Dallas, I found this article on NBC News from August of this year, and I want to get your thoughts on it. The preliminary assessment of veterans in the criminal justice system revealed that roughly 181,500, or 8% of all U.S. detainees, were veterans of the armed forces. Are you shocked by those numbers?
Yes and no. I mean, it's crazy because our country puts such an emphasis on service and joining the military and, taking care of this country, but we don't take care of our veterans, and that's disturbing. I do a lot of volunteering downtown with feeding the homeless, and there's quite a few here in LA, and there's quite a few veterans down there. So it is not completely surprising, but that percentage is shocking and eye-opening. And that was something that, I want to shine a light on this movie, is the treatment of veterans, particularly veterans of color, and how they're used up and essentially thrown out. A lot of again, we have someone incarcerated in our families. We usually have a veteran or two in our family. And I've had a veteran in my family who struggled since being released from service. And so that's something that I wanted to definitely shine a light on and definitely talk about the length of what a black father will do for his children, including going to hell and back, which is the metaphor for this movie. Tyrese's character, who was a veteran, will go to hell and back for his daughter. And so, yes, to everything you just said is definitely influenced and reflected in this movie.
Dallas, I'm glad you said that because my dad fought in Vietnam and my grandfather, my mother's father, fought in the Korean War. So it really resonates with me that after they go off and they fight protecting our country, that they serve proudly. They come back and then it's the mistreatment with the racism and then everything else up under the sun. So I can definitely see where you're going with this point of view, especially with Tyrese in this role.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I don't think we shine enough light on our veterans of color, on our black veterans who, a lot of times throughout history have saved this country, and that story doesn't get told. So I'm kind of telling the other side of the bad version, which is what happens when these brothers get home and they don't have medical benefits, they don't have retirement benefits, they don't have housing, and they're sitting on this skill set, which is basically to fight and to defend. And what happens when they have to use that skill set inside of another evil in this country and battle we're fighting, which is the private prison system.
Dallas, let's take a quick pause so we can acknowledge our sponsor. The Shawn Knight Show podcast featuring Tales from the Boombox is powered by Poddex. And right now, my good friend Travis is going to tell you more about Poddex. So Travis, take it away.
This episode is powered by Poddex. Poddex are unique interview questions and episode starting prompts in the palm of your hand. So whether you're a new podcaster or an existing broadcaster looking to take your interviews and podcast episodes to the next level, you're going to want to check out Poddex. Visit poddex.com to get your Poddex today.
Appreciate you, Travis. And if you want to take 10% off your order, make sure you use the code Shawn Knight Show at checkout for 10% off your order at poddex.com.
Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Motown recording artist Kim hanging out with my boy Shawn Knight on the Shawn Knight Show.
Shout out to the homie Kim and welcome back to the Shawn Knight Show podcast featuring Tales from the Boombox. My guest is Dallas Jackson, who is the director of the hit movie The System, starring Tyrese and Terrence Howard. And speaking of Terrence Howard, he plays Bones in the movie, and he helps Tyrese out in a situation, and then they form a brotherhood. And one thing about Bones that we learn about with all criminals, they're not all bad people. With this character, even though his situation was dark, he helped Terry stay focused while dealing with his own problem, man. What was the message you were trying to send through their relationship?
That's right. Absolutely. Yes to all of that. And, I think Terrence represents the person who's been institutionalized in these systems. He's been there so long, he doesn't think he's going to get out, and what Tyrese does for him is wake his spirit back up to want to get out of this, system, quote unquote. And, the great thing about those two is once they unite on screen, it becomes a buddy movie, in an action sense. And I just think that they have a chemistry that unfolded for me. When they did Four Brothers for John, they didn't have a lot of scenes together, but they still had the presence of and unity of John. I think what happens with them in this movie is we get to see they got some chemistry. I'd love to, continue that going, not maybe in the system, but in a Cosby Portier type way.
I see that. I see where you're going with this.
Project. Yeah, they're fantastic together, and I got to be there firsthand to see that.
And another thing that we got to see firsthand was Lil Yachty getting involved in the movie, and he's executive producer. How did that come about?
Yeah, well, look, I'm not breaking new ground. I'm kind of taking a note from when DMX would star in a movie, or you would see another hip hop star, Ja Rule, in a movie, or 50. I just wanted to put a piece of the puzzle in there that made it relevant to another audience. Little Yachty's got like 30 million on Instagram, between Instagram and Twitter and all his socials. So he's also been dipping his toe into acting, and he's actually fun. Like in the movie, he plays a kind of a fun role. And I saw he could do that. So I just was extending the respect to him because he's got an audience, he's got a following. I wanted to say, look, come rock with us, make you an EP on this movie because we respect you and what you do, and come do your thing. And that's what he did. He showed up and he was ready to rock. And he brings another element to the movie. What I try to do with my movies is make it edutainment 16 to 60.
Yeah.
Younger cats can rock with it, and older cats can rock with it. And so that's what I try to make it something fun and interesting for everybody.
Dallas, what is the overall message you want to give from your viewers when they watch The System?
We got a problem in this country, and we have to address it. We have to pull the curtain back on it. We also have a message of there are black fathers out there that will fight for their children to the end. And overall, just creating more heroes of color. I think it's important, and that's my mission, is to create black action heroes, particularly men. And women starting to get their shine. And John and I did a show called Rebel together, and that was about a strong, kick-ass black female PI. And we just want to continue to create action heroes of color in the sci-fi, horror, action space, and really shine a light on the system with this movie. No pun intended, but all pun intended.
Absolutely, man. And I am excited about what you got coming up. And let's talk about DJ Classicz Productions. Do you have any new material that you are looking forward to coming out in the upcoming year? Yes,
sir. Well, we're going to do another movie in March next year. We're going to start this movie called The Horde, starring Maurice Crump, who also stars in the system as a villain named Freeway. At least he seems like a villain. I don't want to give his character twist away. Maurice and I did a movie together before called Welcome to Sudden Death that I wrote and directed, that's on Netflix now. He's an actor. He's a real-life martial artist. He studied with Tony Jaw's masters, and we're going to give him his own kind of post-apocalyptic martial arts movie. This brother is the new Bruce Lee, but he's our Bruce Lee. So RZA and I will start that movie in March. RZA will co-star. We're putting the pieces together now. And I'm also working on a sci-fi action cop show about a brother who gets shot in the head and becomes psychic. And I'm doing that with the executive producer of The Blacklist. And we're going to try to get that going in 2023. So I'm trying to just do cutting edge stuff, man, that we can all come out and be entertained by. And that's the brand DJ Classicz. We DJ is me, and we're doing classic material.
It's been really dope talking to you, man. We definitely got to exchange information and keep the lines of communication open, because I think that you're doing some great stuff going into the new year, and I got some stuff that I'm collaborating with as well. So hopefully, man, we can sit back and maybe we can join forces on a few things.
Yes, man, I'm here, brother. We just gonna, keep pushing together as collaborators and keep putting our messages out there. So definitely, Tasha, my publicist, will make sure we stay in touch.
Absolutely, man. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. How can we find you?
DJ Classicz with a Z at the end at Instagram. Same address at Twitter, DJ Classicz. So DJ, the word classic, and then a Z, all one word. So you can find me there.
Before you go, I got to get you with the pod decks real quick. Now, the pod decks are a deck of cards that I shuffled up already. I'm going to pull 2 cards out there. I don't know what the questions are, but you got to answer them, all right?
All right, let's go.
All right, here we go. Oh, you're going to like this one. What do you think went the best for you in 2022?
I have to say the best thing that went for me in 2022 was being able to share the system with Howard University. I was able to premiere the movie there, and I went to Howard. And so to be able to go back home to my college and premiere my first movie, it was surreal. And I got to say the best moment in 2022, at least one of them.
All right, cool. Here's the last one. Describe your hopes for 2023 in one sentence.
2023, I plan on expanding the brand DJ Classicz and creating more product to share with the world. And we're going to end it with being productive.
Man, I appreciate you so much, man. The movie, The System, currently in select theaters nationwide. You can check it out digitally on Apple TV, Prime Video, Amazon, Redbox, Cable on Demand, Spectrum, DirecTV, the whole 9. Anytime, my friend, anytime you need to call in, check in, get your voice out, man. Let us know what's going on. You got an open line.
I appreciate that, brother. I'm also, one last thing I'll leave you with, as a special gem, I'm writing a horror movie for 50 Cent and the horror guru Eli Roth. It's called Creature House. It's me and Kevin Grievous, who's a brother who went to Howard, who created the Underworld franchise. That's coming in 2023. So just keep looking out and go check out The System during the holidays. Get some edutainment while you're chilling on the couch opening presents.
No doubt, fam. Hey, before you go, I need you to bless the show real quick, man. Go ahead and tell everybody who you rocking with.
Yo, this is Dallas Jackson, writer, director. I got a movie out right now called Welcome to Sudden Death at Netflix. But I got a brand new movie coming starring Tyrese Gibson and Terrence Howard called The System, playing everywhere. But forget all that. You listen to the Shawn Knight Show. Everywhere you go, listen to Shawn Knight. Check him out. He's got hot guests like myself, new movies, new entertainment. Let's go. Shawn Knight Show.
And it don't stop. The movie is called The System, currently in select theaters nationwide, or you can check it out digitally on Apple TV, Prime Video, Amazon, Redbox, Cable on Demand, Spectrum, DirecTV, the whole 9. My homie, Derek Jackson, appreciate you, my friend. Have a wonderful holiday season.
Happy New Year, brother. And I thank you, man. And I will definitely come back and drop more.
All right, for sure. And that's going to do it for the Shawn Knight Show podcast featuring Tales from the Boombox. Special thanks again to director Derek Jackson of The System, starring Tyrese and Terrence Howard. Check the movie out this weekend while you're celebrating the new year. Until then, it's Shawn Knight, and I am gone.